was late January. I was walking to school late again. Hat, scarf, collar, jacket, gloves, boots, marching through the city, slush and ice, late again. I just wanted to get, and that's when I saw him at the corner of my eye. Maddog. He had a real name, but no one called him John. Everybody called him Maddog, and that's how he liked it. Every morning he would take a ballpoint pen and inscribe a self-inflicted tattoo. M-D-X. M for mad, D for dog, X for nobody knew. Maybe X marks the spot. Maybe I'll X you out. Maybe X like a kiss, hugging kisses. Once upon a time there was a flock of birds. And they were hungry, flying in the air. And down there on the ground was the bird catcher. And when he saw the birds, he took a bag of breadcrumbs and sprinkled them down on the ground under a huge tree. And to the biggest breadcrumb he tied a string. And the other end of that string he tied to a net which he hung from the bottom branches of that tree. The birds saw the breadcrumbs and said, oh, look at that. You see the breadcrumbs? One looks like a crouton. I'm going down. And they start flying down. The bird catcher hides behind a rock with his big bird cage. And as the birds pass the top of that tree, they hear a voice. For on top of that tree is another bird, a big bird, the raven, who says, "Stop! It's a trap!"
Oh, but Raven, we're so hungry, and besides, it looks so good in the breadcrumbs and the croutons. I'm going down later for you. Bye-bye.
And they go down. Oh, these breadcrumbs are delicious. And you're eating them. Oh, with their feathers out. It's so good. And then one of them snaps up the big breadcrumb tied to the net, and it falls on them. And they start freaking out. Raven, help us! I told you it was a
trap. Raven, help us!
A gray missile of an ice ball that hit me exactly in my ear. It was like somebody had taken a hammer and banged it on a church bell, just ringing through my head. Tears well up in my eyes, and I look, and there's Maddog. I wanted to run home, but there was nobody there. So I started running to the school. And as I get closer and closer to the school, I could hardly see because the wetness from my tears, and I'm wiping it. I'm almost sliding on this wet snow, and I'm rushing up the stairs, and then I have to make a decision. Do I go to my classroom? Or do I go to the principal's office? If I go to my classroom, then it'll just be a normal day. I'll just wipe my tears and get on with it. But if I don't report him, then he might do it again. Tomorrow. Or to somebody else. And if I go to the principal and I report him, then he'll probably get in trouble. And then I'll get killed tomorrow anyway. What do I do? What do I do? Once upon a time, once upon a time. Once upon a time, once upon a time. Once upon a time, once upon a time. Around my block in New York City, Halloween was dangerous. First of all, those freaky masks freaked me out. Like, I like princesses and pirates. This thing where you have a head growing out of a head. His eyes. If you look in Al Fago's eyes, you will go blind. And so whenever Al Fago came by, we were like, oh, don't look at me, don't look at Al Fago's eyes, you go blind. And from this distance, whacked him in the back of the head with a raw egg. It splattered, and it hurt, and it was a mess. And his mother grabbed him, and she said, "What are you doing to my son?" And Kenny, of all things, looked at me, and I looked at him. And you know what? I didn't go blind. In fact, I could see clearer than ever that Kenny was just another kid who was hurt and needed help.
He patted my face.
You're coming right to him! And he stands up. The boat starts to rock, and he starts to curse and scream and yell. And sure enough, the boat comes right up and bangs into his boat. He almost topples over. An apple falls into the river, and he is screaming furiously when he sees that in that boat, there was nothing. It was empty. Not a thing, not a rover, not a person. Nothing. Maddog pats my face, walks past me, looks around and says, "Dude, I'm sorry, all right? Later." And I was like, have you ever been bullied? Don't raise your hand. Just... Next question. Have you ever seen someone else get bullied and not been able to do anything? Or felt that? Have you ever bullied someone yourself? Don't raise your hand. Just answer it inside. My guess is that if we did raise our hands at one point or another, every person here would have raised their hand. Either as a bully, or you bullied, or you were bullied, or you've seen it. It's kind of everywhere. It's kind of part of life, unfortunately. And I wish I could say things are getting better, but I'm not so sure they are.